now that I say it out loud. I know that sounds weird, so here's what that means. I know you probably got this from being on my list, how you heard about this class, or maybe you saw it on social media or something. And I'm sure you've seen your share of the social media things, which is like, hey, watch this webinar on Facebook that teaches you how to sell high ticket stuff by creating a webinar that's advertised on Facebook that teaches people how to sell high ticket stuff by creating you get it, right? The loop. So that's not what this is. This is genuinely about actual business consulting and specifically about getting amazing results for clients, which makes getting them a lot easier. So if you don't know me, here's a mercifully brief introduction. My name is Frank Kern. I've been doing this stuff since 1999. October of 1999, to be specific. I actually do consulting in the real world. I earn 7 figures annually from actually doing it, not from selling courses about it, but literally doing it. My clients range from attorneys, like tax prep and stuff like that, accountants, technology firms, home services companies, medical practices, filmmakers. I have 2 of those, interestingly, authors, real estate brokers, you get it, right? So everything that we're going to see today is currently being used in the real world with real businesses. And the reason I bring that up is there are plenty of places you could get advice about getting consulting clients and the consulting business. And I think it's important to really look and see if the people you're getting advice from actually do real honest to God consulting outside of teaching how to do consulting. I'm sure they're all great. However, if I were taking some advice about a certain type of business, I would want to get the advice from people who are actually doing that kind of business. So I really do this kind of stuff and a lot of it. And I'll even break down how it all works for you. So you can model what I do if you want to. Okay, so let's go ahead and start digging in here. I want you to write this down and keep it handy. It's just 3 things. It's nothing particularly hard here. Number 1, how much do you want to charge per client? And I know this, there's a lot of reactions this gets, Number 1, it can be, I don't know, I've never thought of it. Number 2 is like, well, I want to charge this, but, and then all this self-doubt stuff creeps up. That's okay. Whatever you want to charge, nobody's looking. Write down whatever it is you actually want to charge per client. There's no wrong answer to this thing. Okay, got that? Cool. So next step is write down how much you want to earn over the next 12 months from doing business consulting services for people. And so whatever that is fine, right? And if you've never thought of it before, just make up something. This is your time to be like, okay, it would be cool to make X amount of dollars. And whatever that amount is totally good. It's your call, So we need to know those 2 numbers, though, because once you know them, we can then figure out, all right, how many clients do you need in order to hit your goal, right? And so you figure that out by taking this amount right here, how much you want to earn over the next 12 months, and then you divide it by how much you're going to charge each client, and you get how many clients you need. And the reason I'm asking you to do that is because as we go through how to deliver service to clients, how to get them results, how to attract and sell clients, I want you to have that number in mind. So we have an actual target to work towards, So that's all. That was the end of the hard part of this. Okay, so let's get started. So step number 1 in really doing well as a business consultant and having a good life and enjoying your job is to target the right clients. So if you've ever done this kind of stuff before and you've run into situations where people are like, oh, it sounds good, but I just don't have any money, and you're not getting paid what you want, and you're meeting a lot of price resistance and all that, it's probably because you're not targeting the right clients, which is an easy mistake to make, and I've done it myself. So here's who you really want to target, okay? The ideal target, if you're doing the type of consulting that I'm going to talk about today, which is ultimately consulting in the area of how to increase profits. So that's the type of consulting I do. The ideal target client for you is a small business, owner operated, not a big corporation, but something where there's an owner, like a little family business or whatever, and they're doing over $1 million in revenue. So like that $1 to $20 million range is perfect clients. Really, really perfect clients. Easy to get good results for. And I'll tell you why in a minute. What's really cool is there's a huge opportunity right now because There are a lot of them. So I've got this little chart here and this little statistic on screen. According to the research I did and what you're seeing on screen here, there are 30.2 million small businesses in the United States alone. So that's just here in the U.S. It's not even counting the rest of the world. Everything I'm sharing with you today, by the way, it's applicable all over the planet. It doesn't matter where you live. You could deal with small businesses in France, in Australia, Canada, United States, Japan. It doesn't matter, right? All businesses want two things, and I'll share those with you. Now, here's what's interesting. According to Business Know-How, roughly 9% of those small businesses generate over $1 million in annual revenue. So if you do the math, that's 2.71 million businesses. And some folks get intimidated by dealing with $1 million plus businesses for whatever reason. So if you could also get pretty good results for slightly smaller businesses. So if that's you, there are 1.35 million of them that do between 500 grand and $1 million. And you can help those folks too. Although the ones who are doing over $1 million, they can pay you more and it's easier to get a yes from them. But here's the thing I want to point out to you. I don't know what the number was that you wrote